karma basically indicates that what you did in the past will most likely have an impact on the future scenario of your life. The two main categories of karma are good and bad. Saint and demon. Each individual in the group follows their own will or thought, respecting the principle of free will. Either the good guy wins, or the bad guy wins. It is important to remember that a thought is an energy, vibration, and frequency that is dispersed over space and time. Then, a person can decide whether to stop the energy there or to say yes or no to it and allow it to link to the neurological system before acting to fully unleash it mentally, verbally, and physically. When you opt to execute a specific act, for example, when you are thirsty and hungry for certain thing, and you want it to quench your thirst and hunger. If you had already made up your mind and hoped for the outcome of your imagination to occur in reality, which is considered a four-dimensional world, the energy would be sent through neurons that conduct electrical current to either the verbal part, respiratory tract, or the peripheral part of your body, or both at the same time. For a basic requirement like when you're starving, you might ask the waiter at the restaurant to bring you chicken wings and fries, cook yourself one serving of pasta, or debate the main course for dinner with your partner while you're making the appetizer. That is how energy is converted when you act on goodwill. The positive token goes into the positive bucket. And when you act on poor will, the negative token goes into the negative bucket. The number of tokens you acquire influences the quantity of happy and negative feelings you experience during the day, week, month, year, decade, and so on. That is why we should try to save as many positive tokens as possible. Assume that when you are thrilled by a stimulus, you use the positive token from the positive pile, and the amount of it reduces, and when you are suffering from a stimulus, you use the negative token you collected, and the amount of it decreases from a different pile of tokens. How many tokens do you receive when a will is performed? Let's say it's a matter of will and deed. Assume the x-axis is will and the y-axis is deed. When you combine your will and deed in the first quadrant, it's a positive will and a positive deed. And you win rewards in the form of a slew of positive tokens. Negative will and positive acts are like when you feel compelled to do something you don't want to do, but you do it nonetheless. Negative will limit the amount of positive deed in this quadrant, so you earn less positive tokens than in the first but still a decent amount of fortune. When you're enslaved to evil ideas and serve Satan, you're in the third quadrant, negative will and negative deed. Finally, the fourth quadrant, positive will and negative deed, is when you wish to cease bad conduct but end up doing it anyhow. Negative action diminishes positive will in this area. So, in this scenario, the positive will help you gain fewer negative tokens. But doing so appears to be a bad choice. There is a technique to halt karma by stopping the will of specific thoughts. Stop the will at the source because the will leads to the deed if will equals 0. Which means deed equals 0, which might be comprehended as karma dying. In conclusion, respect for the law of free will, you can choose to perform karma or not, which is known as the death of karma. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, subscribe to our channel, and leave a comment in the description below. This channel will provide you with information about the mind, body, and soul. See you in the future video.